And the best thing we do is we ask our participants, what do they want to do? So we have our Participant Action Council that every month will come up with a list of ideas they want to do in the next month. And we're always open to ideas.
Welcome to the Podcast Spectrum, brought to you by Extend-A-Family Kingston's Podcast Mates program. This is the show where real people share real stories right from the heart of your community. On today's episode, the Podcast Mates sit down with Amber Lockwood, Program Coordinator at Extend-A-Family Kingston, to pull back the curtain on the programs that help people build friendships, find their place, and thrive in the community.
Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. My name's Isaac. Our lovely guest, Amber.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good. So what is Extend-A-Family?
So Extend-A-Family is a recreation, or is actually a charity, a nonprofit organization that runs recreation and social programs for children, youth, and adults with developmental disabilities.
Interesting.
Yeah, we start at age 4 and we go all the way up. I think our oldest participant right now is in their 70s.
That's very lovely.
Yeah.
So how long has this been going on?
Extend-A-Family?
Yeah.
Extend-A-Family started in the 1980s, but I've only worked here since June 2024. So I'm about 2 full years in this June.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to be an Extend-A-Family?
So when I saw the job posting for the program coordinator position, I thought this is the most perfect job for me. Before I did this job, I had some experience working with people with disabilities. My aunt was someone and uncle lived with me growing up, and they both had developmental disabilities. So it's something I've been around my whole life and worked with people my whole life. And then when I was going through high school and university, I always worked in recreation programs. So I started working at camps when I was 15 years old, and I did camp every single summer and all the way up through university, even past university. I did a lot of camps. I did a lot of after school programs. And so when I saw the posting of I get to work with people with disabilities and do all those fun things like camps and after school and all of that fun stuff, I said, this is the perfect job for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what programs does EAF offer?
So we offer a wide range of programs. During the week, we have our adult day program. So that's for people who are done school. You know, for a lot of people, that's when they're around 21 years old. Some people are a little bit younger, maybe 19, 20. When they're all done school, they can come to our adult day program Mondays to Fridays. We also have a Saturday program for the adults where they get to go out in the community. They've done things like bowling and mini golf and going to the mall and different things like that. With our kids, you know, from ages 4 until they're ready for the adult program, we have our after school program that runs Monday to Friday. We have our Super Saturday program where they get to come here on the weekend and do a lot of fun things in the building, and sometimes they go in the community as well. And then we also have our camps in the summertime. So we run summer camp in July, at the end of June into July and August. And then even during the school year, we have more programs for kids when schools are closed. So anytime school's not happening, we want the kids to come here. So they come on PA days and exam breaks and March break and over the Christmas holidays. So we always have lots going on, and sometimes we even have special programs. So we have programs like our podcast mates, you know, that we're doing now. We've done movie mates. We've had archery programs in the past. We're looking at starting up a golf program with our golf simulator. So really, the programs can be whatever we want them to be. So if people even have ideas for new programs, we're happy to hear those ideas and see what we can do.
So when summer camp starts, what programs do you do in that?
Like, what activities do we do? So big ones, I know people really like going out to the beach. We like lots of water games. We try to be outside as much as we can. The adult program, they actually get to participate in an interagency baseball league. So we have a baseball team here at Extend-A-Family, and we challenge community living, and we challenge Ongwanada to a baseball league in the summer. There's a big championship tournament at the end, and that happens once a week every Thursday. And then even in between that, we've got arts and crafts programs we're doing music, we've got the golf going, we're trying to get out to festivals in the community. We really want to do whatever programming our participants want to do. Do you have a favorite kind of program or activity that you want to do?
I'm more of a baseball person myself.
Cool. There you go. So you can come join our baseball league this summer. Hit some home runs.
So what typical day does it look for you as a coordinator?
Great question. So it really kind of depends on the day because no day looks the exact same. So my job, the most important thing is making sure everyone who comes to our programs is safe and having a good time. Those are the two big things that my job has to make sure happens, right? So to do that, sometimes that means I'm working with our participants myself. Sometimes that means I'm teaching the staff of how best ways to work with them. Sometimes I'm showing the staff new ideas that they can try. So that's a big part of it. It's just being out there with the group and seeing how we can make sure everyone's having the best possible day ever. Behind the scenes of all that, like sometimes there's a lot of emails I have to send. Sometimes I'm meeting with new families who want to come in and check out the program. Even just today, I had a new family and a new participant come in and they got to tour the space and I walked them around and showed them all the different activities we have, the sensory room where the bathrooms were, so they can look at maybe registering and coming for our programs. And then sometimes I have to sit in some meetings, sometimes I'm meeting with the other program coordinators. Sometimes I'm meeting with our managers and we're coming up with new ideas for new programs or new things we can do in our programs. And then sometimes I'm even talking to families, sometimes people have a hard day or they're going through something difficult and the families need some extra support to get through that. So some of my job is working with the families and helping connect them with other resources in the community so that they can move forward and try to have the best time ever.
So, about your garden program.
Oh, yes.
How's that going?
Thank you for bringing that up. I completely forgot about that. So we have our hydroponic gardens that we grow a lot of lettuce. I think they've tried a few other things. I think they're going to try basil this next round. So we start our seedlings inside and then they go out to the hydroponic gardens, and we have a whole crew of participants who take the plants from the little tiny seeds, planting them, all the way through to the harvest when they get to pull everything off the walls and it gets donated to the Martha's Table program, which is another community organization. So they can make meals for people who just need some extra help with their food. So that is a program that is always literally growing. They're growing plants, but it's growing in size too. And they're trying new things and experimenting with how they can get more people involved with the gardens and trying it out.
How do you make programs fun and inclusive?
You know what? It's not an easy thing to do sometimes because we have so many people who come with so many different needs, right? We have people who come who might just need some folks to hang out with, their main goal when they come to programs is to socialize and make new friends. And then we have other people who that's still their goal, but maybe they need some more support to do that. We might have participants who come and they're in wheelchairs or they're nonverbal. So trying to figure out what works for everyone can actually be pretty tricky. So what we do is we actually just try not to do it for everyone all at once. We try to do a bunch of small things that work for different groups of people. So rather than everyone doing the same thing all together, because not everyone always likes the same thing, right? So we actually split our day up to have different things happening at the same time, and people can choose what they want to do. So at any one time downstairs, we might be having people, some people are going to swim and some people are doing the gardens, and maybe some people are doing some music stuff, or some people are doing some arts and crafts, and then they can choose what activities work for them. And then the staff who get to really know the participants and know what they need and how they can help them engage in them, find ways to adapt and change things to make the activity work for the participant. Maybe that means they need help holding a paintbrush, or maybe they need help throwing a ball or kicking a ball, or maybe they have to get some special equipment to do a certain activity. Those are all things we can do to change the ideas to work for the people. And the best thing we do is we ask our participants, what do they want to do? So we have our Participant Action Council that every month will come up with a list of ideas they want to do in the next month. And we're always open to ideas. So even if you came and you wanted to have an idea and you said, Amber, I want to do this next week or next month, can we do it? We would try to figure out a way to do it. Do you have any ideas for that kind of programming?
Not at the moment, but
if you think of stuff, you can let me know. Deal?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the big thing, is just knowing our people, knowing what works for them, knowing what they like and what they don't like, and listening and changing things as we need to. That's how we make it inclusive.
What's the most project you're proud of?
Project I'm most proud of. You know what? I'm actually going to go back to the pack. Okay. So I talked about that just now. So that was something when I started here at Extend-A-Family. And when I started doing the adult program, there wasn't really a program. There was a bunch of people who were coming here every day, and we were kind of just making it up as we went. There wasn't a structure. A lot of the ideas were just coming from the staff, and I wanted to change that because I really wanted our participants to be able to tell us what they want to do. It's your program, right? It's their program. They get to decide what we do, and it's our job to make it happen. So one of the things I created pretty early on was the Participant Action Council. We call it the PAC, the PAC, and they meet roughly once a week. They talk about different ideas for programming, what they want to see happen. Sometimes they talk about equipment they want to get for the space. When we redesign the space, the PAC gets to meet and kind of plan that redesign, how we want the furniture to be set up the way they want it. Even sometimes like my managers will come and say, we have this idea and we want the Participant Action Council to like think about it and share their ideas. And those are things that directly influence not just the program, but how the whole organization runs. So it's a pretty cool program our project that just got started because I wanted more participant voice in how we do things. So that's, I think, the one I'm most proud of.
So outside of work, what do you like doing the most?
Outside of work. So it's funny because I always like to think I work so much that I don't have a big outside of work, but I'm trying to get better at having an outside of work. I hang out with my cats. I have 2 cats. Their names are S'more and Ozzy, and they are 2 and 3 years old, and they are so silly. They run through my house and they break everything, and they chase each other and they wrestle and they fight. So part of my evening is just watching them play around and then cleaning up any messes they make. I have to have locks on all my cupboards because they're so naughty. They get into all the cupboards and try to pull dishes out, which is not very good. So that's a big thing that takes up a lot of my time. But something I started doing back in the fall that I do every weekend now is I'm actually taking drum lessons. So I thought to myself, I want to learn how to play the drums. I just thought it would be a cool thing to do. So I started taking drum lessons. I go almost every Saturday, and I've learned 3 songs now on the drums. But I didn't bring my drumsticks, so I can't demonstrate for you, unfortunately.
That's fine.
What do you like to do outside of your podcast and your program days?
I'm usually working on my YouTube channel. I don't stop working, unfortunately.
You're like me. We work a lot, but we try to have fun when we do it. Maybe.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Maybe you should try to pick up an instrument if you could figure one out.
I'm not allowed to touch instruments.
Oh, okay. I don't want to know the backstory to that one.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. We'll leave it there.
Get into it. So what's a fact that people don't know about you at EAF?
I was going to say that I like to travel, but I think people at EAF know that because they know I went on a pretty big trip last month. But what maybe people don't know is I got to go a few months ago to Australia and New Zealand, and it was such a fun trip. I was there in February, and something really cool that happened to me there is I went to the Steve Irwin Zoo, the Australia Zoo, where like Steve Irwin and he's no longer with us, but his family run this zoo. And when I was there, they had you got to walk around and all the kangaroos were hopping around. And probably the most special thing that ever happened to me was there was a mama kangaroo with her little Joey in her pouch, and you got to like feed them. They called it Roo food. You could buy it at the gift shop. And I held my hand out, and she was so nervous because she had her baby, and I was nervous because I've never fed a kangaroo before. And she walked up to me and she held my hand and then ate the food. And it was probably the most magical thing that's ever happened to me was this mama kangaroo trusted me and held my hand while I fed her and her baby food. And I almost cried because it was so beautiful.
Now, quick question. Have you ever ran into spiders?
I saw one giant spider when I was in Australia. And funny enough, it was in a McDonald's. You know how McDonald's has those like ordering kiosk things? You can touch the screen and pick it out. So I was lined up, or I was walking to the bathroom actually, and these girls were ordering, and all of a sudden I just heard them start screaming, and a spider, it was probably about this big, came falling down out from behind the screen and then ran across the floor. And then I went to the bathroom because I didn't want to see it anymore.
That is a terrifying scenario.
It was pretty big. But surprisingly, that was the only giant spider I saw on my whole trip. So maybe if I was in the outback area, I might have seen some more. We were more on the coast, but one giant spider was enough for me.
So, how has traveling improved your coordination?
Good question. How has traveling improved my coordination? I think when you travel, you have to be able to deal with the unexpected, sometimes, and you have to be patient, sometimes you get to the airport and your flight's delayed, or one flight's delayed and you have to catch another flight and you're worried you're gonna miss it, and then what do you do? So when you're traveling, you have to be really open to being flexible and to new ideas and to figuring out a plan and just making it up a little bit as you go when the plan goes to one side, and I think that's a lot like program coordinating. You can go in with a plan of how you want the day to go, but it's never going to go the way you want it to go. You have to be flexible and you have to be patient and you have to be able to think quickly and come up with new ideas when problems show up. It's funny, we've had a few moments where we've had some plumbing issues in the building, and it's always one of those days where you think you're going to do this thing all day, but then all of a sudden a bigger problem like a plumbing issue comes up, or maybe someone's having a really hard day and they're showing some maybe behaviors because of that. So it could be anything. It could be about the building, it could be about the people, but something might happen that's just going to change the course of your day, and you have to be ready to deal with it. And travel's a lot like that, because sometimes the plan just doesn't go as planned, and you can't give up. You can't just sit there and say, well, now what? Because you're not even home. You're traveling somewhere, right? You got to figure it out and you got to move forward. And I think that's a big part, a big skill you use when you're being a program coordinator too. You got to always figure it out.
So, what are you most excited for the future of Extend-A-Family?
Ooh, that is a good question. I think Extend-A-Family is always growing. When I started here 2 years ago, there was a big change that had happened. There was a big change in staffing, a big change in how they did the programs. And ever since then, in the 2 years that I've been here, the program I started with is completely different from what the programs are now. And they're way better. We've got more people coming. We've got new ideas happening. And I think it's just only going to get better from there. The more people we bring in, the new staff we bring in, they're always going to have new ideas, right? And our job is to listen to those ideas, listen to what our participants want to do, listen to the ideas the staff and the skills the staff have, and see where we can take it. We talk about moving our programs into new cities and new spaces. Maybe we talk about doing more days a week. Maybe we look at doing more specialty programs. All of it's very possible. It just takes hard work and the people willing to do it, right? So I think, what do I see for the future? I don't know, but I think it's whatever we want to make it. We are in control of what we want that future to be.
That's very great and interesting.
Thanks, Isaac.
Thank you for coming, Amber, and this is the end of the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us today on the Podcast Spectrum. If today's conversation moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. New episodes drop regularly, so hit subscribe and never miss a story. The Podcast Spectrum is a production of Extend-A-Family Kingston's Podcast Mates program. Until next time, thanks for listening.